How's it going, everyone? This is DoctorJefe, and welcome to another Crusader Kings 3 tutorial. In this video, we're going to be finishing our series on Dread and looking at how overpowered Dread can be. Now, this scenario was set up using debug mode, so warning to not load any Iron Man saves if you do use debug mode. Now, the scenario is that it's difficult being a ruler, you know? You got a lot of things on your mind. Maybe you're distracted by the feasting and fornicating that you can do as the Emperor, and you just, die one of these days. Who knows why? You weren't really paying attention to your heir, but, how bad can your heir be? Let's see. So, we got Empress Jutta of the Holy Roman Empire, and, wow, people don't really seem to like her. Could it be because she's wheezing, scaly, albino, lisping, adulterer, fornicator, deviant, kinslayer, incestuous witch, who's also a cannibal, and a lunatic, and irritable? Let's see, what does our council think? Oh, max negative opinion? How could that be? Oh yes, all these reds. Short reign also on top of that. That's not going to be good. Well, maybe our other vassals, think more highly. Nope. It's all negative. It's all negative 100. Everyone has negative 100. So even with this character, who has everyone hating us, we can look at our independence faction. Yeah, that's a high percentage. I don't know if we're gonna be able to take on someone who has 900% of our military power. We got 7 months. Oh no. But what these vassals didn't know is that I have some prisoners here. Let me just, torture this guy. Gain a little bit of dread from that, and yeah, let's just execute him. Boom. All right, up to 39 dread. We'll execute this guy as well, and we'll torture this guy. And why not execute him as well? Just up in that dread level. We'll grab this guy. For some reason we can't execute him. I don't know why. Did he somehow get out of jail? We'll execute this guy over here. And at 100 dread. Now let's see what happens to this faction. Oh, it's already been decreasing as my dread has been going up. Ooh, still 265. It's still dangerous. People are leaving. How many? Oh, we still got 5, 4. Oh, last 2 guys. they don't have enough, but oh, faction targeting you has disbanded. So just like that, I didn't even have to execute all of my prisoners. I still have 6 left over. I can be like a dread vampire, and if this ever falls below 90, just execute somebody. I can also just choose to go into the intrigue, select the skullduggery focus. We don't need natural dread. In fact, more intrigue is probably better for us. And we're going to get certain events that come along that allow us to imprison people, gain more dread through torturing people, trying new poisons on people. Also, if you're in a large empire or kingdom, there's going to be people who are adulterers. You can throw them in jail for free. Even in the events, you automatically get to throw them in jail, and you know what? That means more prisoners for you to torture and execute. Gain more dread. Now, people who are terrified of you. So these vassals, they're terrified of you. They won't join any factions, and they also won't scheme to murder you. So let me just pull over from Paradox Wiki that shows all the benefits of dread. So as we can see here, dread has pretty much only upsides. There's this -50, -75 to marry, but I haven't really even seen this come up. In arranged marriage, you can normally get an arranged marriage. It doesn't really matter. You can blackmail people more easily, negotiate alliances, and offer guardianship more easily. You can offer wards, ransom, ask people to take vows. It's easier to imprison people, retract and revoke titles, all of these things which would create more dread for you. It's easier to demand conversions and offer vassalage. Now, there are people who won't become intimidated and terrified from you, even if you have 100 dread. See, there's a boldness attribute. It's hidden in the game. Gotta keep some things hidden from the player. But yeah, basically you need to have a dread score of 20 above their boldness to intimidate them and 45 to terrify them. Now, what you're going to want to look out for is brave characters. 200 boldness, they're never going to be terrified of you. What is nice is Craven characters are always terrified of you. They have minus 200 boldness. And, you know, looking down, Wrathful, going to want to watch out for them. If they're Wrathful and Ambitious, that means they're never going to be terrified of you. Diligent also gives a huge plus to boldness. So these are just things to look at. You can always go to the Paradox Wiki if you're ever wanting to get some more information on that. Now, let's see if we can find any brave characters. Let's see. You can always go into your realm and look for brave. See who's here. This guy, he's not my direct vassal, so he's not going to be able to scheme against me. No one really in here, I believe, has me as their direct vassal, so that's why you saw everyone leave the faction. So nobody's in there. And, you know, I said that people could scheme to murder you. I played this character on speed 5. Let's actually load her up. Yeah, she became a Flayer. She's super dreaded. You know, continued down the intrigue lifestyle, gaining all the torturer traits, gaining the schemer traits. You know, once you hit forever infamous, you don't even have to put people in prison to torture or execute them anymore. Your dread doesn't decay, so it stays at 100 forever. You're also getting more taxes and levies from vassals who are intimidated and terrified. You get all of these benefits from the intrigue lifestyle and dread, and really no downsides. So as you can see, though, you know, there is a faction that's formed. We've got some characters who were you know, diligent and arrogant. This, you know, keeps them from being terrified of you. Some more diligent and ambitious characters, and finally a brave character. So these people want independence. But what you could do if you were, you know, not just speed 5ing, you know, seeing how fast you can go. I was just waiting for someone to try and murder my ruler. Never happened. What you can do is, you know, plot to murder them. Like, who cares if you are known as a murderer? I'm already known as a kinslaying murderer. Like, their opinion can't go any lower than negative 100. So, might as well try and plot to murder them. You could try to imprison them, and that will fire the faction before, you know, a lot more people can join. You can also just stack up money. Just stack up a bunch of money, hire mercenaries for when they finally rise up, and you can put them down pretty easily. And, you know, you can pretty much do anything with this. You can raise the Crown Authority. The one problem will be changing succession laws. If, you know, people aren't terrified of you, they're going to oppose you, which is a problem. But yeah, I mean, you can get away with anything. You can try murdering people. You can, you know, just revoke lands, crush people. You can do anything with 100 dread. And, you know, this is with a character who has all of these horrible traits. Dread, I believe, is even better if you're well liked, because you gain all of those bonuses that I showed you, and you also have people like you, so things are even more likely to occur, and you wouldn't have to deal with any factions. So, yeah, now that we've talked about all the ways that you can gain dread, all the traits and perks that affect how much dread you have, finally I wanted to show you just how overpowered dread can be. Now, is this a great way to play every one of your rulers? Probably not. You know, it's, I mean, maybe if that's what you're into. But, you know, having everyone dislike you, I mean, is that really how you want to be? You know, just have to look into yourself and see that. But, you know, it's always possible. If you have a ruler who comes along who's not the greatest, you know, if you can't make them love you, at least make them fear you. Alright, so that'll do it for our series on Dread. I hope you enjoyed this series. Yeah, stick around for more Crusader Kings 3 tutorials, and let me know if there's anything I missed or if you want to see anything else. Until next time, please do remember to take care of yourself.